Living life to the fullest. Living life to the fullest. I done it all. Sipping tea, I'm gonna tell it all. I don't care at all. If you like my channel, write it on the wall. For my notification, my cash app in the bio if you wanna pay me. Facebook sensation, IG sensation. Like my channel, Queen D Black, Queen D Black, Queen D Black. Subscribe to my channel, Queen D Black, Queen D Black, Queen D Black. Hey y'all, how's everybody doing out here tonight? Well, this evening rather. I decided to go live. I'm still trying to figure this Facebook on my webcam on my laptop and also on my YouTube. So let me turn the speaker off, y'all, because it will make a noise. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to try to figure out YouTube, how to go live on my laptop. And it's really kind of like the webcam is giving me some issues. But anyway, nonetheless, I hope that everybody is having a great evening. You see, I'm blonde this evening. You say blondes have more fun. Hey there, JB. How are you? Sorry to hear about your dad. Sending my condolences to you and your family. Yeah. So I was just trying to wait and see if any more people join my live, which would be great if they do, because I want to talk about some of the topics that are going on in the world today. And one thing I do want to talk about is this incident that happened in Sumter, South Carolina, where this man killed 3 kids and his ex-wife new guy that she was dating, and he turned the gun on himself and killed himself. So that right there just broke my heart, knowing about those kids getting killed. They're innocent, and criminal domestic violence is something that women and men, we've been going through this thing for I don't know how long. And if a person don't want you anymore, why you still want to hound them? Just go on. You know, a person don't want you, but I know that some people are just crazy. They have the devil in them. And, you know, I speak very highly about criminal domestic violence because I was in a situation like that to where my life could have been taken a number of times. And I was just so blessed that it did not happen because I was dealing with a fool also. But, you know, like I said, whenever you are in a relationship with somebody and you're breaking up with them, whether you're married to them or if that was your boyfriend, girlfriend, once you break up with that person, don't go and get another person and flaunt them in front of that other person that you just left, because a person ego and the devil will play on their mind, and that'll make a person kill you real quick if you go out there and get somebody else in place of them. So I never did that because I knew that I was dealing with the fool. And he always told me, he said, if I ever were to find out that you was messing with somebody else, he told me, y'all not gonna believe this. He said that he would shake the guy's hand and he would break my neck. And I kept that in my mind, and I believed that he would have done that. So I never, ever did that. The number of times that we were apart, I never messed with anybody that he knew about. And because I just didn't want that on my hands and him killing me. So like I said, that Sumter incident, it just brought back a lot of memories. And I just recently had a coworker of mine back in November. He killed his wife and killed himself. And I worked with this man for 30, well, probably 25 years, because I was at Blue Cross first before him. He used to always say, and this has been for the past 15, 20 years, he always told me, because his wife worked at Blue Cross also, he said that he was going to kill her. He used to always tell me, He used to tell other people that he was going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to torture her. I'm going to, she had a friend that she hung around with. And he used to always say he was going to get both of them and torture them. And I used to always say, well, you know, what about the children? And he used to have a smile on his face and say, well, they'll be taken care of, because I think her parents were very much involved in her life. But, you know, he really went out with that threat. In November of last year, he killed himself. He killed her and killed himself. So domestic violence is really real out here, y'all. Hey, Dolores, how are you, honey? Good to see you. Yeah, so, yeah, it's just really bad out here. But like I said, my platform is about domestic violence because of what I went through. And any woman or man, if you're going through any type of abuse, whether it's mental or physical, tell somebody, go get you a gun. I guarantee you, you go get a gun and you show that other person, I ain't playing with you. Because see, they messing with you because they think that you're scared. But if you get a gun, if you get a gun and let them know, hey, I got one, they'll leave you alone. You know, you don't have to shoot them or whatever. Just let them know, hey, I have that. So I'm just letting you know. You know, I know it's easier said than done. It's hard to get out of an abusive relationship. But, you know, like I said, I went through it. And by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm blessed. I don't have to deal with it anymore. But for anybody else that's going through it, you know, my prayers are with you. Just, you know, tell somebody and just get out. Get out for the children. But sometimes I know it can't be helped. Because, you know, if you're dealing with a crazy psycho person, they've already got it made up in their mind what they're going to do. And, you know, that's just awful to talk about. But on another note, I just wanted to talk about that. But let's just move on. This is about these topics. I'm actually talking about different topics. So what y'all think about the incident with Buster? Is it Buster Murdoch, to where they're exhuming the other person's body, the Stephen Smith guy that they thought was, I think they said they thought it was an accident, but really it was a homicide. So they're trying to say that Alec Murdaugh's son had something to do with it, allegedly. Now, allegedly, I put allegedly in there. So he said he didn't have anything to do with it. But, you know, when something happens in a community, everybody in the community knows what happened and who did it. It's just the people on the outside that don't know what happened. So, you know, the town is talking about it, about allegedly that Buster had something to do with it. But, you know, I was trying to follow the trial. So, you know, I hope he didn't have anything to do with it. But like I said, God is not blind. He knows what you're doing every second, every hour. So, hey, you think you're going to get away with it, but you're not. Yeah, so, and on to the next topic. We're talking about old Trump, y'all. We're waiting on to see if the grand jury is going to indict him. I'm not giving my opinion on it. I just want to know what y'all got to say about that, because he done been doing some things out here in the world. So I know I have a lot of friends, you know, that are Trump supporters. I'm talking about my African-American friends and my Caucasian friends. So I'm not going to give my opinion on it, but, you know, we're waiting to see what's going to happen. You know, he's a character, though. He used to have me laughing a lot because the antics that he used to do during the time when he was president. But we're going to see what that's going to be about. Yeah, so. But anyway, I just wanted to go live, and y'all like my blonde hair. Yeah, I got a blonde. I saw this blonde wig, and of course I had to get it because it looks just like my other wigs. And even though I have hair up under here, I just love my wigs, y'all. Y'all just got to understand, with my real hair, it's so much maintenance that has to be done, like, because it's so long, and I just don't have time for that. I just would rather put on a wig and go about my merry little way. But I am going to try and get some more styles going on with my hair, because I know y'all really like seeing my real hair. So I'm gonna try to get some things going on. But I like this blonde, though. This blonde kind of cute. I got some more wigs too. I'm gonna have a lot of different looks when I come on too. Yeah. Hi, Leo. How are you? Milton. Hey, Milton. Yeah, so, but again, I just wanted to go live just to engage with my supporters, and I'll just tell one story or so while I'm on here just to have something to talk about. I think the last thing I talked about with my ex was when he started stalking me, and I think I told y'all about when he was like in a tree. And when I moved to this house, he used to be in this tree watching me, and I didn't know he used to be in the tree. And so he found a way to get inside of my house by going through a window. I'm doing wonderful, Leo. Thanks for asking. And he had a window. I had a window where he could get through the screen. And so I didn't know. One day I came home for lunch. I just happened to come home for lunch because I didn't work far away. So I was like, well, let me just go home. And once I got home, I opened my door and saw him on my couch, drunk, and he was knocked out, like sleep, snoring. So of course it startled me, and I called the police. You enjoying the stories, Dolores? I know that's right, girl. I got plenty of stories, girl. Okay. Hey, Linda. Yeah, so, yeah, he was in there asleep on the couch, drunk as I don't know what. So, of course, you know me, I'm going to call the police now. I called the police and told them that he was trespassing. He didn't live there. And so the fool went to jail. All his charges are for domestic violence and DUI, DUS. Those are all his charges. So he got out, of course. And then after that, he was supposed to not have any contact with me. So, like I said, he still came around. I had my car parked in the driveway, and all of a sudden, one morning, I went out the door, and my license tag on the back of my vehicle was bent. So I'm like, oh, because I went out there to warm up my car and noticed my license tag on my car was bent. Now, who does something like that, bend a license tag? So, you know, of course, I called the police. I'm always calling the police now. I'm not a snitch, but I would call the police on him all the time. So another time I came home and, like, keep in mind, it was a restraining order against him. So my daughter happened to come through the door. And so he was in the house and she saw him in there and ran and told me he was inside. So I had to hurry up and we drove off really fast. So of course, like I told y'all, I moved around a lot. I left that house. Sometimes I didn't honor my lease because of what I went through. And I understand why a lot of women, you know, you have to go and move. And so it got up. Like I said, I always went back to my mom. So then I moved to this other spot. What was it called? Meredith Square. That's right across from, this was like way back in 2005, 2006. And so he used to stalk me over there. Like everywhere I went, he stalked me. Hi, I think it's Bayai. I can't pronounce it. How are you? So yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of different stories. Like I would try to give him the benefit of the doubt after a while, being that, like I said, when he drank, he was always a different person. But when he didn't drink, he was nice. So that played a lot on the road. Hey, Demare, how are you? Good seeing you the other day, too. Really good seeing you in person, in the flesh. Yeah, so, you like the way Cookie blonde look? You see, I got the blonde look going on today. Yeah, so anyway, where I left off was, like I said, I would try to, you know, co-parent with him, but he never really wanted to be a parent. He wanted me. It's like I was his, and, you know, I would think that he would love the kids because he always used to brag about his kids and his family and what all he do for us. He ain't did nothing. That was just a bunch of talk. That's all it was. So it was one time, and after I say this, I'm going to go ahead and go because, like I said, I got a lot of stories to tell. I don't want to tell all the stories just in one line, but it's so many stories. But this was one particular time when like I said, my kids were all young when this was going on, like in elementary school. And I decided to go ahead, and he was, wasn't drunk on this particular time. Like I said, when he didn't drink, he was good. So I agreed to go with him and meet him at Applebee's. So I think my daughter was probably in the arm. She was in the arm baby. So I think she was probably like maybe 18 months, or not really 18 months, probably 8 months, I want to say. And my son was probably maybe 2. So I went in Applebee's with him, and of course he started drinking. And then when he drank, he get loud, and that was kind of embarrassing for me at the time. And so this was an earlier story. And let it glow, cookie, yeah. So thank you, TT, for the stars. So we were sitting down. All of a sudden, he ordered his drinks, and I was like, oh boy, there we go with this drinking. So when he starts to drink, he's a different person. So he started drinking his drink, and then getting loud, everybody looking around, and they're saying, I felt embarrassed because I was trying to like say I was ready to go. So he was like, you're not going anywhere. I mean, all loud in Applebee's. This was Applebee's on Broad River Road. You're not going anywhere. And I was looking around, and people was looking, and they was like, what's going on with her? So I got up to leave. And so when I got up to leave, he had his alcohol, in the glass, and he poured it on my hair. He poured the alcohol on my hair, y'all. Again, he had already done this before. I told y'all once before when I had my hair in rollers. So, yeah, he poured the alcohol on my head, and the people were looking like in disbelief, like, did he really just do that? So, of course, that was embarrassing to me. I had so many embarrassing moments with this man, y'all, but I still gave him chance after chance to just get right. All you had to do was stop drinking. I mean, you got a wife, you got kids, you got a beautiful family that you always tell people you have a beautiful family. But then I'm asking you just to stop drinking, but you won't stop. And some people can drink and be a happy drunk and don't bother you. They may talk junk, to themselves and go to sleep. Not him. He would get really angry when he drank. Like, I don't know what happened in his childhood to make him act that way, but it's just something that happened in his childhood. And so, like I said, after he poured the liquor on my head, I started crying. And so that's when I tried to leave. And then he got loud. And so somebody called the police. They was like, call the police, call the police. Because he was making a scene. And so he ended up leaving by the time the police came. And so, I just left. Like I said, it was just very embarrassing for one. But, like I said, that just story that happened. And like I got over it and moved on. And like I said, there are other stories to come. And this next story is going to be really crazy, to where when I lived in this neighborhood, I had to move again from out of Meredith Square. Like I said, I didn't honor my lease sometime. And I remember one time, I wasn't sure if I was going to move or not. So I ended up telling the rent lady, he's around, Deanna. Hi. He's around right now. He's with this lady. Keep in mind, he's 55 years old, but he goes with the lady that's like 80 something years old. Yeah, something wrong with her too, for her to go with a man that's 50 something and she's 80 something years old. And he treat her so bad, worse than how he treated me, from what I was told by a couple people. Yeah, just crazy. Yeah, so what I was saying was, like, I had to move. I told the rent lady that I was going to probably stay because I told her about my situation. So I ended up giving her a check to hold for me because I wasn't sure if I was going to pay the rent. So I ended up leaving. And don't you know, this lady turned the check in anyway to the magistrate. And I got that on my record right now. So, I ain't no shame in my game. This was some things I had to do in my past to make it. I had sometime wrote checks. But I mean, I wasn't doing it to be fraudulent. I would just write it just to get money. But then I wouldn't go back to pick the check up, like from Walmart or wherever I wrote it at. And, you know, if you don't go back to pick it up, they give you 10,000 days to come pick up the check. But I was irresponsible at the time, didn't go back. So I do have a history of writing some checks. But but I mean, they were small amounts, and like I said, I always paid the checks. But I'm trying right now to get that off of my record to be expunged, and because my major now is criminal justice, and I'm thinking because I retired from my job after 30 years of Blue Cross, my next phase and chapter is going to be in criminal justice. But I can't get a job in criminal justice because of the checks, even though they 30 years ago. The charges, I got a charge 17 years ago and then one from 30 years ago. And so they told me that because of the criminal, that I want to get into this field, you got to have nothing on your background. Some jobs will look back 10 years, but no, not with criminal justice. They look at you right now. So I don't want to be a police or anything like that, but I do want to work in the field of criminal domestic violence or just something dealing with fingerprint analysts or something in the field of that nature, because I like crime scene. I want to be a crime scene investigator, something like that. This is my next chapter, but I don't know what's going to happen, but I am trying to get those expunged. But like I said, I wasn't doing it for the fraud or intent. But, because I know public index is real out there and people pull you up. So I don't have any shame in my game about nothing. So that's what make my channel the way that it is. Because like I told y'all before, I'm real and I'm raw. And I do not, sugarcoat nothing. Anything you want to know about me that's not too personal here, yeah, I'll answer you. But if it's something that you really want to know, hey, Henry, how you doing? Henry is my second grade boyfriend, y'all. My second grade boyfriend. That's my first boyfriend ever in life. Second grade. But anyway, anything that you want to know about me, like I said, if it's not too personal, and yeah, Dolores, thank God you don't look like what you've been through. You're absolutely right, honey. Absolutely, because I always have had a smile on my face. Even though I could have been going through it, which I was going through it at one point in time, but I never took it out on anybody. Hey, Todd Black, how are you? That's my homie too. Hey, nephew, Chavez Pedro. Yeah, so yeah, I like I said, I never took it out on other people. And I had, hey, cousin Nancy, I never had in me to take it out on other people, even though I went through what I went through. It was plenty of times that I came to work and I had to get the kids, because having two kids and trying to take care of two kids by yourself, that's what I did. I remember it was one time I didn't have them in the same daycare because I couldn't afford to pay for both of them in the daycare. So I would have my daughter in the daycare and my grandmother, God rest her soul, would take care of my son. So I would have to get up extra early to drive my son to my grandmother's house. And I lived on Broad River Road and she lived in Henley Homes. And then I had to double back and take my daughter to La Petite. That was on Two Notch Road. So I did that every day for like 2 years. And I didn't have any help from him at all because he wouldn't help me. So yeah, I consider myself as being strong. I love you too, nephew. Thank you, cousin Nancy. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a strong woman. And like I said, I don't look like what I've been through, but my platform is to help other women and men, because you'll be surprised at some men that go through this as well. Like, I just don't understand, like, if you are a man or a woman, and, I know I said this before, that my kids, my mother and father weren't always together. So I always wanted my kids to be with their dad, and they are by the same man. So that's why I tried to make it work. But sometimes it won't work. And that's what, a lot of people have in their mind. I want them to be with their mother and the father. But if your children are going through mental abuse, because that's what it is for them, because they'll hold it in. Like my son, he used to have problems in school because of what he saw. And like I said, I could not let my children go through that. I did for a long time because I tried to make it work, but I saw that it wasn't going to work. So that was it. I got out of that. But like I said, there's so many stories that led up to me getting out of that. But like I said, I'm going to continue on the next live. But I really appreciate y'all for joining my live. I do. I really appreciate it. And I like going live better than me doing the recorded videos sometimes, because like I told y'all, it takes a lot. You have to edit and put those things in there. Have you ever thought about doing an autobiography? If so, I would definitely read it. Yeah, you know what, Henry? I was going to write a book, but instead of me writing a book, I want to tell my story live like I'm doing now and on social media, because people read, but they really want to see. And that's why I'm telling my story in the intervals that I'm telling it now. Because if you go back to my episode 1 about my crazy husband, you know, it's so much that I endured with him. So now I'm gonna, like, I have so many stories. Like, I have testimonies of how I almost died. I got hit by a car when I was 3 or 4 years old. God saved me. I'm here for a purpose. I already know that. And my purpose is to spread the word about criminal domestic violence. I went through what I went through because God had me to go through it so that I can share my story to help others out there. So with that being said, I love you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to definitely get my stories out there more often. I like to go, well, actually share my stories every other day. I don't want to come at y'all every day because I don't want to bore you. So I've got a lot of things going on with me as far as content. I've got people that I'm interviewing. I got a prank call. Well, not a prank call. I got a call, Hood Talk 101 with my brother. I've got a lot of things going. Like I said, I'm trying to, like, I got so many good things coming your way. So y'all stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys, and I'll talk with y'all later.